Hello, Dan. I'm Stamsy. This is Jamie from K-Rock Geelong. Thanks so much for your time.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for having me.
It's a crazy few days for you already. You were actually on the Australian Open live stage.
We were, yeah, which was, well, considering we've not played a show in Australia for about 4 years, it was a pretty fun way to burst that bubble again. Yeah, it was awesome. We had such a good time.
It must be an amazing vibe because, as you've probably seen, the Australian Open is just a mammoth event for Melbourne and the whole country. It must be wonderful being a part of that.
Oh, it was amazing, yeah. I had to go to a studio, so I wasn't able to. But the other guys went and watched a load of tennis. It was just awesome being there, getting to watch some stuff on the big screen. We were playing our songs at the same time that Serena Williams was playing actual tennis. So it's probably the worst clash in our little world.
Does that mean when you were playing your songs every now and then it was interrupted by a She gets into the serves, man. She gets into it.
Yeah. I hope that some of our annoying songs either like encouraged her on or put her off. You know?
I know for the Australian Open, there is a lot of us, being me, come out of the woodwork and support tennis over these 2 weeks, and then we go back into the woodwork again. But for yourself, growing up, were you involved? Did you love team sports?
Well, I was morbidly obese as a child, so me and sport were not very good friends.
You and me both.
In fact, all three of us.
Good to know we've all got that in common. But I tried a lot of stuff. I really liked tennis and squash, and I actually grew up pretty near to where Wimbledon tennis is, so I used to go like after school and stand outside and see if the drunk businessmen would give me their tickets when they were leaving. I'd be like the Oliver Twist of the tennis fan world. So I used to go watch that. It's exactly the same in the UK when the tennis is on. We're all massive tennis fans for those 2 weeks, and then as soon as it's over, you literally forget the sport even exists. But
yes.
But it's cool. It was really great getting to be there today.
Now, you say you weren't too sporty, but if you had the choice to be a professional athlete in any sport, what would you pick?
Oh, good question. I've got no idea. Something really obscure. Maybe like a downhill stunt skier. I don't know. Okay, I've got no idea.
Oh, you know, like when they chase the cheese down the hill? That's a big thing in Scotland, isn't it? You chase the wheel of cheese down the hill.
Or something where I've got to do absolutely fuck all. So maybe like curling, or maybe like get the broom out and do a big curling. I've very against type. I've signed up for I'm running the London Marathon in like three months.
Oh wow!
And I'm shitting myself. So hopefully not on the day, but so I'm suddenly having to acquaint myself with running like quite rapidly.
You are a braver soul than I am, because I stick by the theory if you see me running, you better run too. But please don't take any tips from Jamie. There's an event down here in Geelong called the Surf Coast Trek. It's 40 kilometres. Now, I've done it for a few years now. I know what it takes, the preparation. Jamie literally walked in and said, I'll do this, signed up and just went straight on the course. I've never seen a man rock chafing for so long.
Yeah, but Dan, I finished it. I finished the whole thing.
And we heard about it.
I bet. Well, I mean, if I somehow manage to finish the London Marathon, I'm sure that no one will be able to shut me up about it for like a very long time.
Do it.
I've been told like Vaseline is important.
Yeah, Vaso.
You mentioned in an interview recently, there was a quote or a comment about how even now on the red carpet, you feel like a bit of a competition winner. And I mean, you're incredibly humble about what you do, and reading into a little bit into sort of where you've come to from sort of starting out. But is there ever that little bit of imposter syndrome? Do you feel like that you are surrounded by those who are more deserving?
Massively. I mean, coming up through this sort of like indie scene in London, we used to sort of do everything ourselves, and we worked really hard, and slept on floors and drove around in little cars. But so our friends were doing the same things as well, and a lot of our friends' bands, we were like some of our favourite bands, and it's there's part. We've been lucky enough to have some success, but it's always really interesting when you see your mates who you think are incredible not get to go on and do the same things that you do. Yeah, you feel like such a fraud, and I'm just a massive music nerd as well, so I'm like always listening to new music, and I help run a little record label, which has been a really nice thing for me to be able to, get excited about other people's music and then actually get to work on it. So we released this guy Rag and Bone Man. We sort of helped him kind of.
Yeah, we've heard of him.
Great new track with Calvin Giant is amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's really cool. It's nice to have been involved in his stuff, and there's a bunch of other people as well that we've been able to kind of. I don't know. I mean, not that I wouldn't listen to me ever, but it's just nice to be able to be supportive and encouraging, and and have a way to sort of either very hands-on or quite peripherally just be involved in other music and just get to be excited for lots of stuff, because I love being in the studio. I love writing songs. I love writing for other people. But with our stuff, there's always that weird other element of like, I then have to go out and represent it. And I definitely, I always feel like such a fraud. I'm like the worst. I'm the worst like frontman ever in terms of like, I'm so uncool. I always like fall over. I always say the wrong thing. I always like I never know what to do with my hands.
Oh
I'm
my God, it's Stampsy.
Like Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, it is me.
You sound like Stampsy. This is crazy.
I'm someone who actually had to have an operation on her foot because I came off a step. It was one step onto the ground and I ended up doing my spring ligament. So I mean, it just.
If it's any consolation, I've electrocuted myself on stage. I once was trying to climb. During a gig, I was singing this song and I climbed in the crowd. And I was trying to climb over a balcony so I could hang off the balcony, and I accidentally knocked a drink out of this woman's hand.
No.
And then when I jumped back over the balcony, I landed on the glass that I smashed, and it went up through my foot.
What are you
and so
doing?
I'd do the rest of the gig with half a glass sticking out my foot and blood
I
everywhere.
think we were separated at birth, Dan. Oh my God.
Wow.
I have been referred to as the Alan Partridge of pop. So
the Benny Hinn music should play while you're on the stage. How about this? What's your most embarrassing song you have on your phone that you've downloaded?
Oh, that's a good question. Don't know. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I think if you like something, that's you shouldn't be embarrassed by it. But I can't.
Stop being so humble, Dan. Give us some goss.
Stop being a genuinely nice guy. I'm just imagining Dan now. You open up his phone and he's got Baby Shark on there.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
The Barbie doll song, Mr. Blobby. That's Aqua. I've just got Aqua's greatest hits. That's pretty much my only playlist.
Well, they are coming out for So Pop very, very soon. Hey, we do need to let you go because you've got a show to do at the Forum. You are welcome anytime on this show. You're an absolute delight, Dan from Bastille. Although I should say Dan Smith from Bastille, because so many people must say, oh yeah, Dan Bastille or Dan from Bastille. You do actually have a surname other than your band name.
Everyone, I think everyone just thinks that's my pretentious surname. I'm like, nah, but I do have the most generic name in the entire world. So if people get it wrong, that's completely fine.
Well, Dan Bastille Smith, thank you so much for joining the Departure Lounge. We'll chat to you soon.
Thanks so much for having me. Take care.